This song may seem a little dark at first, but it's about being stuck in your life situation and realizing that there is a dream waiting on you.
Everything stands still, time lingers on, a voice becomes a shrill, a moment in rewind, a soul silent scream, to walk a higher plane, on graces you obtain, unwinding rusted chains you'll find. A dream waits on you, it's hidden from your view. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you. Wilting of this time, closing every eye, leaves open doors behind. Don't know where you are, cracks beneath the skin slowly fall apart, an opened and frayed heart, flowers through the haze you'll find. A dream waits on you, it's hidden from your view. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you. A dream waits on you, you hid it from your view. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you and you and you. Time waits for no one, all there is now. It's always up to you to wake up and take up your. A dream waits on you, it's hidden from your view. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you, you and you and you. A dream waits on you, a dream waits on you. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you and you and you and you and you and you.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Agape. Yes, here we are again, Sunday morning, and we're going to talk about love, because that's what agape means. Unconditional love, the love of God operating through the human heart. And if you're out there and I would ask that you check in. Yeah, let me know you're out there. Where are you watching from? What you may not realize is that Agape is a worldwide community. We've got people all over the world that watch our videos on Sunday. They watch our daily videos. They participate with us in meditation, in gatherings, in classes. So if you're tuning in, realize you're a part of a worldwide movement. And as such, we're here to teach a practical spirituality that'll support you as you go forward. So let me go into what is Agape. Agape is a spiritual community that teaches a practical way of living centered in love and the teachings of the science of mind. That's right, love. And when we look at love, we talk about love being acceptance. Love and acceptance are interchangeable. Love has nothing to do with romance. We blindly have accepted or built a definition that's impossible to live with. Love means I accept you just like you are. Our vision for the world is a world of conscious individuals supporting each other's evolution. Isn't that something you can buy into? A world of conscious individuals supporting each other's evolution. To me, that is the most noblest of causes. What we value the most is conscious awareness, personal growth, authenticity, and community. We believe that around those things, and you'll notice all those things are very practical: awareness, personal growth, being authentic, being yourself, community. Everything we do centers on those values. We do not make a decision at Agape if it doesn't support that, because that's why we're in the world. If you're asking, do we have dogma? No, we don't. We believe that everyone is an individual and everyone will find their own path. What we do is we teach practical tools that allow you to take control of your life, to create your perfect life, to expand your awareness. Again, check in. Let me know you're out there. And if you have questions throughout, write the questions down. I promise I will get back to you and I'll answer those questions. So let's take a moment from this and let's just sit back. Bring yourself into a comfortable, easy, upright position. Your back is straight. Your hands gently resting on your lap. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breathing. Gentle, easy breathing in and out. And know that with your breath, you are nourishing and purifying both your body and your mind. Your mind is becoming more calm. Your body is going into balance, into homeostasis. And with each deep breath, you're letting go of the past. You're letting go of all expectations. You're letting go and you're fully present right here, right now. And as we become more fully present, we open ourselves up to being able to hear, to listen more deeply to that inner wisdom that is within us. And so that we can hear this new idea, this expanded idea, which allows us to grow. Actually, it allows us to change the trajectory of our life. So what we're doing in the stillness is we're actually doing a spiritual reboot. We're preparing the software so that it can take on a new update, which will give us a more expansive form of life. Meditation is the key. It allows us to let go, to be present. And when we're present, we are receptive to new ideas, more expanded ways to look at the world. Having rebooted, having regenerated, have we reinvigorated, we now bring ourselves back to this time, to this place. Move your fingers, your toes, whatever other part of your body, your head. And when you're ready, open your eyes, put a smile on your face, and welcome. Today, I thought it was important to expand on the idea of living in unanswered questions. Yeah, living in unanswered questions, not living in the answers to questions, but in unanswered questions. You see, what I've come to understand is that questions lead to a more expansive life. If we don't ask questions, there is no possibility that we see life differently, that we can possibly change. But here's the key thing. It's not that questions lead to a more expansive life. It's quality questions. Questions that concern, how do I become a greater expression of me? How do I experience a greater life? How do I step into the unknown without fear and become the greater Lee? You see, when we stop asking questions, we begin to rot. Yeah, I said the word rot. I don't know, well, I didn't know how else to say it. I could say we begin to die, and rotting and dying are the same things, but when I put the slide together, I felt rot was important because you can come back, you can regenerate by just starting to ask questions again. And you know, one of the things is, remember when you were 2? And you kept asking the question, why, over and over again? And your parents got tired of it, and you actually were domesticated into believing that asking a lot of questions was not the good thing. But guess what? In every relationship, in just about every situation in life, if you're not asking questions, you're probably going to screw it up, or it's not going to give you the result you want. So questions are critical. You see, right now, if you think about this, the world expects us to believe its ideas. The news media expects us to believe their ideas. The politicians expect us to believe their ideas. The corporations expect us to believe our ideas. And if we don't believe, we're labeled as weird. We're labeled as nonconformist. We're labeled as not supporting the greater good. But think about this. You were born to be unique. You were born different than anyone that has ever been on the planet, that ever will be on the planet. And so to be that a uniqueness, you must understand that questions are your key and most valuable tool. You were not meant to be a cog, or let me say it this way, you are not meant to be a brick in the wall. Realize when people don't want you to question anything, the reason behind that is they have a desire for control. It's so much easier to control a situation, to control people, if questions are not being allowed. But without question, there can be no expansion. And I'm going to tell you this, I don't know about you, but I know for me, I was not meant here to be controlled and to live up to someone else's expectations. Here's one of the things I learned from Dr. John DeMartini, that the key, the source of all depression and anxiety is unrealistic expectations that we have set for ourselves, or we have been set for us by others that we have bought into. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather set my own expectations and not worry about the others. The other thing that's come to me as I live my life is that every life experience takes place for a reason. In other words, when I do something, I put out a cause. And when I put out a cause, there is a response, an effect. And I learned that the cause I'm putting out is giving me a specific result. So I'm there to learn, is it the result I want, or is it something different? Or if I hang around certain types of people, I'm going to have this type of experience. Well, maybe I don't want to hang around those type of people because I don't want that experience. Am I making a picture bright enough for you to see that if you look at your life right now, the person you are being, the people you are surrounding yourself with, the situations you are in are creating your current experience. And if you want to change your current experience, You've got to ask questions about what can I do differently from what I'm currently doing? How can I change the relationships with the people I'm with? How can I change the circumstances, the place, the events, what I'm doing, thinking, speaking, feeling, that will allow me to become the man or the woman that would have a different experience? But few of us seek the reason why. When an experience happens and we ask the question why, we're looking for what is the cause. We're not looking to be the victim. It's not about the victimhood. Don't get me wrong, because I'm all about 100% personal responsibility for our experience. Not what happens to us, but for our experience. Because let me tell you, things are going to happen that you didn't plan on, that you had nothing to do with, because we live with 7.8 billion other people. We have Mother Nature surrounding us. We live on a planet where there are natural events occurring. And we may be in the wrong place at the wrong time, but in our mind, we have the ability to see how we choose to experience that experience. One of the things that I've come to understand is that science never stops asking why. Never. So when you hear people say the science of this situation is this, and you need to follow, and they say this is the ultimate, and they're not asking more whys, that's not science. That's opinions to a limited amount of data, because science is constantly seeking more data. And one of the things at Agape is we pride ourselves at being religious scientists. And as religious scientists, we should never, ever stop asking. We're always asking questions about how is life working? Why is life working that way? How can I change my life? Religious scientists take spiritual theory, ideas, and we prove them for ourselves. And when we prove it for ourselves, we're not buying into someone else's idea. We've proven it. Therefore, it's not only our idea, but we have proof. That's one of the things I learned from a guru in India. When we sat down one-on-one, me and my friend Niranjan, and we talked about things, he kept asking when I would say something, where's your proof? I would say, well, this is. He says, no, that's an opinion. Where's your proof? That's an opinion. He would go, where's your proof? And I finally came to the idea that just about everything that I thought was an opinion. The one thing I do know that I have proof of is that I am aware. What does it look like? I don't know, but I know I'm aware because I'm observing, I'm talking, I'm responding. I am aware. I look at that and say I'm a point of consciousness that's aware. There's an assumption there. I'm a point of consciousness. But I do know that I am a microcosm of what I believe the great I am is. And as a microcosm of the macrocosm, that which creates everything responds to me. You see, throughout my life, I kept asking, what's my purpose in life? What's my purpose in life? And this is what I've come up with. Our purpose is to experience an ever-expanding life. Did you hear that? An ever-expanding life. Because think about this. When do you get bored? When life is not expanding. When are you depressed? When life is not expanding. Everything that we seek is for a more expansive experience. This means, in order to do that, we must be able to live with unanswered questions. Yeah, because it's the questions that help us expand. The uncomfortable mind is the one that never gives up asking questions until it finds answers. And then it asks more questions. See, the mind becomes uncomfortable because it gets afraid, because it's been conditioned, it's been domesticating into believing that we need to fear the unknown. But the unknown is where all expansion takes place. So to be able to be peaceful and live in unanswered questions and keep asking until we find answers and then ask more questions, that's the key to being in life today. When we question everything, we open ourselves up to greater possibilities. I'm said, question everything. My son and I and Jean, we sat down and we talked about relationships. We talked about the relationship that we have, Jean and I. And we were always asking questions of the relationship. How can we have a more expanded experience with each other? How can we have greater intimacy in our relationship? Without us having done that over the last, I've now dated my wife 50 years. Going on 49 years of marriage. If we weren't asking those questions, we would have been bored and probably divorced. But because our relationship is expanding, it's got value. You see, if something's not expanding, there's no value in the future. You see, boredom controls the mind that is not open to question. So if you're bored, it's saying you're not asking questions, or you're not asking expansive questions. Quality questions. So if you start looking at your life, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, career, relationship-wise, money-wise, whatever it might be, fun, are you bored with life because you're not having enough fun? You've got to ask questions. What does fun look like? What does it feel like? And become the person who would have that. A healthy, functioning mind creates a healthy body and a healthy emotional state. Did you hear that? A healthy, functioning mind, a mind that's about expansion. Why does it create a healthy body? Because it needs a healthy body to experience. It needs a healthy emotional state to experience. Because without that, it can't function the way it wants to. So we're all tied together. It's spirit, mind, and body. Without questions, life has no further meaning. And without further meaning, we die. We rot. There's no further point to continuing our existence. Questions bring us a deeper and more expansive meaning to life. If you're asking quality, expanding questions, I promise you, you will have a life that is amazing. But again, don't believe me. Prove it for yourself. Start today by asking more questions. So let us pray. Let my words be your words. I know that there is one, infinite, all-knowing, everywhere present, conscious intelligence. I call it spirit, infinite mind. I could even call it God. But I know it's not a being. It's an it. It is all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, always has been, always will be. It is the seen, the unseen, the known, the unknown, and the unknowable. And because it is infinite, I know that I and each person in this world are one with it. We are microcosms of the macrocosm. Therefore, that creative power that it uses, I use. And each person uses. And so I claim right now that the one mind, which is also my mind, even though I'm individually using it, is now being enlightened to a greater sense of questions that allow me to have a more expansive life. And I not only speak that word for me, but I speak that word for each person listening that they are guided to a new question set that expands their life from where they are, and that they are open to the possibility of hearing these answers as I am open to the possibility of hearing these answers. I know that what is heard in one part of the mind of the infinite is known in all parts of the mind of infinite. Knowing that, I know that the answer to what I am speaking through this spiritual mind treatment is made so, and so I go into a state of gratitude. In gratitude, I give thanks. I bless it. I bless the questions. I bless everything that's flowing to me, through me, in me, as I expand and explore life at a greater and greater level. And I know the same for each of you that are hearing these words right here and now. And I rest in that knowledge that this prayer is answered. And in resting in it, I let it go, for I know it is done. And I affirm it as I say, and so it is. Amen. So we come to that time of giving and receiving. And before we give, I want to invite you to say our financial freedom affirmation with me. And wherever you are, I know you're not with me in person right now, but I want you to say it with me out loud. I live in the gratitude, knowing that I am financially free to do what I want, when I want, and how I want. Let that affirmation come in, because it's about building an awareness. I live in gratitude, knowing that I am financially free to do what I want, when I want, and how I want. Let that sink in. And I want to invite you to make a donation, to give a gift to Agape for what you receive. Because as you give your gift, we're able to bring this message of self-love through conscious living to the world. You'll notice in front of you, you'll have a text where you can text to give, or you can scan the QR code with your phone. Take a picture of it, and it'll take you right to a giving page. Or there's a link in the YouTube or in the Facebook that you can click on and make a donation. But whatever you give not out of obligation. Give because you're grateful. You're grateful for how you are being served and lifted by the message we bring at Agape. And I want you to know how grateful I am for your gift, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm able to do without your support. These last 2 weeks, we've had 2 gatherings with a group of beautiful, beautiful souls in Lebanon. Think about that. We have a group of people in Lebanon that we're meeting on a weekly basis. We have a group of people in Europe we meet with on a regular basis, and we meet with people in the United States. All of this virtually, and all of you can plug in. We have an individual who's from Australia that's plugged into our gatherings on Wednesday night. We are a worldwide community. So if you want to know more about us, join our email list. Receive my daily thoughts. Get info about upcoming events and classes. You can scan the QR code that's in front of you, or go to agapespiritualcenter.com for more information. I want you to know, from the connection standpoint, every day, 7 a.m., there's a Zoom meditation. Every day, 8 a.m., I do Thoughts That Can Change Your Life on Facebook and YouTube. Weekly, I have gatherings on Wednesday at 1:30 and at 7:30. So you can plug in any way you want. Those are all free. All you got to do is go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Also, for workshops coming up, I've got a free workshop on Saturday, October 23rd. It's on debunking the myth of love. If you're interested, scan the QR code. I'm also going to do a personal values determination workshop. This is where you find out what are your top 5 values, and now you make them the basis of everything. You can scan that code, or you go to Agape Spiritual Center. Those are in October. I highly recommend, especially the values determination thing. I believe it's the single best thing that I offer at Agape. When I learned this process from Dr. John DeMartini, it changed my life. And if you've done it before, I invite you to do it again, because we change all the time. If you're looking for support, you can get one of our Agape practitioners, and you can write them on the internet. If you go to agapespiritualcenter.com, you'll find their email addresses there. What I want to do right now is just take a moment and tell you how grateful I am for you. That you were here and you invested your time, your most valuable resource, to hear this message. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And know that I want you to know that I am here to support you. But in order to do so, you have to ask, because I can't read your minds. But until next week, or when I see you in meditation, or at one of our gatherings, or in our Thoughts That Can Change Your Life, I want you to know I love you because I accept you just like you are. Until later, aloha.